Hello everyone and welcome back to the Dark Domain. Now I know a lot of you these video to sleep. So before you drift off, I thought it would be a fun idea. If everyone could leave a comment.to let me know where you are listening in the world. Also like and subscribe if you are enjoying the episode. Right, let's get comfy and relaxed and let's. First story is telling my Dale to stop crying after she got called fat. On phone, my Dale is a very sensitive soul, to put it lightly. She will end up in tears at basically any pushback or any slightly rude remark. It can be extremely frustrating because anything brought up will end up with her in tears and you looking like a huge asshole. One example, she has a habit of not taking off her shoes before going into people's homes. About a year ago, she was tracking mud into my home and I told her to take off her shoes. She started crying because my tone was too much. I didn't yell or anything. My daughter was there and agreed I wasn't mean when I said to take off her shoes. It was a whole thing and my son gave me a whole lecture about how I can't say things like that. I told her to take off her shoes. She isn't a quiet crier either, it's loud and everyone notices the moment it happens. Then everyone needs to comfort her and you are the dick for making her cry. There are more examples of this and the whole family has had to deal with it. The issues was this weekend get together for my other Dale's daughter birthday. The birthday was going well and there are a lot of young kids. One of the kids, he is 4 almost 5, can be rude. His parents are working on it. He doesn't have a filter. During the event when she was helping passing out the food, he called her fat. The parents grabbed him and she started crying. It was getting loud, so I pulled her off to the side and told her to stop crying. I didn't want her to cause a scene at a 7-year-old's birthday. It was a little kid's remark and told her not to come out of the room unless she is composed. She ended up going to the car and didn't come back to the party. My son and I got into an argument. My point is, she a grown adult and she is crying over a 4-year-old saying something mean. He is telling me to apologize, but at this point I am not. Second story is refusing to take an elective exam and escalating the situation to the school district. I, a high school senior, am currently in a standoff with my school administration, and my principal told me today that I won't be successful in college because of how I'm handling this. My school is pushing a program where students take a CLEP exam for third-party college credit. This is an elective, non-mandated exam. However, my school sent out a student checklist stating that if we miss the exam, we will be placed on academic probation. I asked around at other schools, and they weren't taking this exam. Matter of fact, even heard about it before. I am already taking a full load of AP classes. I would very much rather focus on studying for just my APs, since I'm already stressed about them. When I asked for the policy justifying the probation threat, I got no answer. So, I emailed the district superintendent's office for clarification. Today, I was called into a meeting with the principal, assistant principal, and my counselor. Instead of discussing the probation policy, the principal told me that I had testing anxiety, telling me I should speak to a social worker, that's why I don't want to take the exam, and that I'm being emotional by reaching out to the superintendent and escalating it. When I stated my opinion that students should be able to choose the college credits they wish to pursue, they proceeded to tell me that in the future, at workplaces or in college, I won't get to choose what I do and don't want to do, even though the thing that I don't want to do is an elective exam that I have a choice of not doing. Every time I tried to bring the conversation back to why academic probation was threatened in the checklist, they continued to tell me I was being emotional and talked about how much the test could help me. I ended up tearing up in front of them because of how much they were attacking my character instead of just explaining the rule. My parents are on my side, but the school was acting like I'm being a difficult student for wanting to know why they were making me take an exam that I don't need to graduate. I could see the annoyance on my principal's face every time I brought it back to the academic probation threat. My sister said I should just take the test and get it over with instead of turning it into a big thing. So, AITA for not just taking the test and for going over their heads to the district. They conceded and said that me not taking the CLEP will not affect my graduation. They also mentioned I can graduate right now if I want, mostly felt like they wanted me to, but I said no, smiley face. but am also wondering your opinion of, do you think I should ask them what about other students? And if it doesn't affect graduation, then what does academic probation mean? Also, am not going to prom, so I don't know what that means for other students if they also don't want to take the test. Are they not allowed to participate in school events, etc.? Cause a lot of my friends know I was in a meeting with the principal, but I told them I don't have a definite answer for them if it'll affect them in other ways. I said this replying to another comment, but I just wanted to post it here too. Also, answer to some frequent questions. Do you have to pay for the exam out of pocket? To get a voucher for the exam, you have to take an online course outside of school. After finishing the course specific to the CLEP you're taking, you have to take an online test and score a 75% above to get the voucher. But I'm confused, as if you don't get a 75% above on the test, does that mean you also have to pay out of pocket? Were your parents in the meeting with you? Yes, they were. The only other time they meet with me alone was when they pulled me out of class to talk to me in the hallway. But also, my parents are immigrants, so English isn't their first language. Has the superintendent responded to your inquiry? The chief staff of the superintendent hasn't yet, since they are short-staffed, so it may take a while, but they informed me they are investigating it as of yesterday. Didn't expect this many people to see my post and support me. Thank you so much, smiley face. I also emailed colleges that I am interested in enrolling the current situation, just in case they reach out to colleges. Third story is leaving my friend's birthday dinner early after waiting over an hour for her. My friend, 26F, had a birthday dinner this weekend and invited a group of us to this restaurant she picked. She told everyone to be there at 7. I got there on time, a couple other people did too, and we waited. And waited. By like 7:45 she still wasn't there. She kept texting stuff like almost there and parking is crazy, but she lives like 15 minutes away, and this is kind of a pattern with her being late to everything. At around 8 the server asked if we wanted to order, and I texted her asking if she was actually close because people were hungry. She said, just start with drinks, I'm coming. She didn't show up until almost 8:20. At that point I was irritated because I had skipped lunch, I had work early the next morning, and honestly I felt rude sitting there taking up a table forever waiting on the birthday person. So when she finally got there and wanted everyone to restart the night and wait before ordering so she could settle in, I said I couldn't stay much longer. She got upset and was like, seriously, you can't stay for my birthday dinner? I told her, we've already been here over an hour waiting. I ended up eating quickly and leaving before everyone else. Later she texted me saying I made her feel bad on her birthday and that I could have let it go for one night. I do get that birthdays are important and maybe I should have just stayed and kept my mouth shut, but also it felt kind of disrespectful to have everyone sitting there for that long because she couldn't be on time again. Maybe I handled it wrong, I don't know. Fourth story is traveling for work with a 6-month-old at home. I, 39F, and my partner, 37M, have a 6-month-old baby together, and he also has a 9-year-old son who lives with us and who I help parent. I now have 2 upcoming work trips, one for 3 nights/4 days and one for 8 nights/9 days. I can sometimes turn down work travel, but these trips are important for my career. For additional context, since I was 6 months pregnant, I haven't traveled at all except for one overnight alone. I also don't have any other work trips without the baby planned until at least after the baby's first birthday. My partner is upset and says it's unfair that I'm leaving him with both kids. He feels like I'm abandoning him, especially because our baby is still young and not sleeping through the night. I arranged daytime childcare while I'm gone. His parents agreed months ago to watch the baby from about 8 a.m. to 7 p.m. each day. I also offered to pay for additional childcare, but they declined and said they were happy to help. The main issue is nighttime care. Our baby still wakes up 3 to 4 times a night for feedings. Since the baby was born, I have been exclusively responsible for nighttime care and I've only taken 1 night off total since he was born. My partner occasionally helps by getting a bottle or changing a diaper, but then he goes back to sleep and I remain responsible for the rest of the night. During the day, he usually takes a morning shift with the baby so I can sleep or get things done, but if he has work, I cover both night and day. I feel like, since I arranged daytime childcare, have handled the overnight care until now, and regularly cover his baby shifts when he needs to work, it's reasonable for me to take these work trips, especially since they matter for my career. He feels I shouldn't travel at all during the first year of our baby's life and that it's unfair to leave him responsible for overnight care while I'm gone. Fifth story is not telling my partner something his 14-year-old daughter told me in confidence. My, 40 years, male, partner and myself, 39 years, female, have been together for almost 5 years, and have been living together with his daughters, 14, female let's call her Laura and 11, female let's call her Ollie, and my daughter, 6, female, for about 2 years now. As the stepmother of the 2 girls, things haven't always been easy, but we are still learning every day and working together. My partner knows that I give the girls their space, but rules do apply in our household, which sometimes can cause some friction, mainly between eldest and myself. Laura has, like so many girls her age, started to show an interest in boys. She has communicated to us that she likes a certain boy, 14M, let's call him Rob. She is pretty smitten and loves telling us about him. My partner however isn't a fan of this young boy. My partner knows Rob's dad and his experiences with him weren't so nice. Because of this, he stated that Rob probably isn't a great match for her and she shouldn't be wasting her time with him. She is 14 and this is clearly puppy love. Laura was pretty upset with her dad's statement but she kind of let it go. Now to the real issue. Up to last weekend, Laura has never really confided in me about specific things that are important to her. She sometimes has, but that would have been things that she told her dad as well. Last weekend however Laura and myself went to an event together, just the 2 of us. While we were there, she opened up to me about Rob and they are kind of a little thing. You could tell she was very nervous but also very excited about this. She however, asked me specific to not tell her dad yet. She said she wanted to wait and see if she still liked Rob in a few weeks and would tell dad herself after these few weeks. She stated that because of his reaction last time, she didn't feel comfortable telling him yet, which I totally understand. I told her that I wouldn't tell dad, because Laura wasn't in any danger, nothing would change and it wasn't life-altering. I did however tell her that she should tell him eventually, after a few weeks. She said she would. Yesterday, Ollie let it slip by accident, that Laura had a boyfriend, Rob. My partner was shocked and asked if this was true. He now is upset with me because I didn't tell him about this. I really didn't want to damage her trust, especially since this was the first time she really opened up to me. My partner also doesn't understand that the reason Laura didn't want to say anything to him, was because of his earlier statements. Now he isn't speaking to me, nor is he speaking to Laura because of all of this. Now I don't want to make this about me, but I am also a little upset with my partner because of his reaction. He knows how hard I try to be a good stepmom and connect with the girls. For the first time now I finally feel like Laura let me in, and he gets mad about it. Sorry if my English isn't great, it's not my first language.